Hey, Jamie, how are you?
Hello and good morning. Today is Tuesday, Election Day, November 4th, 2025.
No, so today's the 4th.
Today's the 4th.
Jamie, how are you feeling?
Much better. Much better.
Why don't you tell everyone
I'm like
at
a
home?
new person.
You know, there's a lot of people that care.
Yeah.
They're afraid. People are afraid to reach out. It's true.
It's true. I'm
People,
night and
it's
day
very.
better.
People are very uncomfortable. They know what they've done. I think there's a lot of people that are in shame. There's a lot of people that feel guilty about the actions that they took, and I'm very comfortable in this. So I just wanted to say thank you for this election, Jamie.
Yes. But I'm back.
Health is really important. If for anyone that doesn't know, Jamie was bedridden for almost since the video.
Yeah. Like
You wearing a blue sweatshirt. You know, it was a very difficult thing to get you to wear blue to match the blue of that guy. And I don't know at what point did you ever realize that that was the whole, sequence of the subconscious.
Yeah, you're right.
The whole magic trick works only because you're in blue
You're
and you're
right.
feeling blue, and
I
he's
was
blue and
feeling
he blue. Whatever, it's all just a word play, word salad, whatever.
Would you say word salad?
Yeah, you know. So look, let me show you something, all right, Jamie?
I'm ready. What are you showing to me?
I'm going to show you something. You see this right here? A lot of people don't really understand what applied mathematics is, so I'm going to explain very calmly and carefully. See this? This is a band from when I checked myself into a mental health clinic, and I was released because I did not qualify any of the... Is this true?
Yes, 100%.
Okay.
With you.
Now, one of the options that was given to me was an absolutely voluntary submission to a 48-hour overview. I assure you, one of the reasons why I don't point a finger and call other people mentally ill is because we, as educated, well-spoken individuals, are able to pass almost any mental health evaluation. And all that would happen would be that I would be monitored over the course of 48 hours. Rather than going and checking myself into a mental hospital, I chose to film a bunch of videos as well as working very hard on my business. And basically, I miss my boys so much. It is so cruel and so fucked up what these people are doing that I don't even think that they have an ability to answer for themselves. Today I'm going to file a few motions as well as submit a few letters that'll make everyone's jaw drop. And the reason why I have to do this is because, boys, when you watch this when you get older, please understand that every single day that passes, I am in massive pain. Whatever you hear about me being with Jamie or being here for a reason is not true. I'm not here because I want to be here. I am here because of lies. Come on. I know it sounds horrible. Jamie, I'm sorry. That's not the way. I know it sounds horrible.
I do not want to be here.
Look, all you can do is laugh. I also, boys and everyone watching this, I want everyone to understand that when you're in the middle of a very stressful situation, very few people are able to control their gag reflexes and bowel movement. You have no idea how many times I've been in the field and doing things where people shit themselves and have to vomit and cannot function. So I just want everyone to understand that humor is one of the only things that you can do to mitigate those set of circumstances during an extremely stressful time. As I've stated before over and over and over again, I am a very good actor. The act is me being happy, calm, and collective. In reality, I am dying inside. Jamie is an unbelievable assistant. She is an incredible professional. One of the things that's really good about her sitting down is that she's able to keep her balance and focus on the content rather than being forced to do anything other than focus on the content, which is what her job is, in the point of misdirection. I'm one of the few artists that has to literally explain exactly what's going on.
You do.
Today's election day, so obviously Jamie and I are going to be reporting live, and we're going to be going to the polls and talking to people to find out, what their opinion is, whether or not they want to be part of a social media vlog. Most people won't know who I am, so that's really the best part of this whole thing is I'm relatively an unknown human being in my community, and Jamie seems to disagree, but I don't believe anyone. I think that, what is the Facebook show? 2,000 people looked at it? How many people have looked at it? Look at your phone.
This is not the right one.
Okay.
27?
Is that the right one?
Yeah.
1 second, you can sit, relax. So okay. I want to talk about the New Jersey election, but I just have to get something off my chest.
Oh, God.
I can't believe that Mario Cuomo is back in the game. You gotta give the guy credit. I mean, can you imagine? Look, there is no one in the Democratic Party that is able to stand in the podium or have any balls in an office other than a guy that was accused of, what was it, rape? Oh, not rape, some sexual inappropriate behavior, some theft of public funds, some controversy, removed office of the governor for like some really controversial stuff. And he is the candidate that is leading the pack against, I don't know, I guess a relatively completely insane socialite, but I don't think that...
He's 67.
Who, Mario Cuomo? I don't think that the word insane is appropriately used. The reason why I say insane is because the policies that he is trying to enact are mathematically impossible to do, and he is a relatively intelligent human being. He's not dumb at all. I believe he's a Columbia grad with a significant amount of mathematical experience, and I think that his ability to act and his ability to perform is on a high level.
Fordham University and Albany Law School.
Okay, I guess maybe Columbia he didn't get in, but
He did not go
in general,
there.
he's well scored, well tested, and for a human being to propose certain policies. So, for example, we have the New Jersey election coming up. So wait, before we wrap this up, Mario Cuomo is back in the game. The guy is back in the game. Like whether or not he wins or loses, he is back in the game. And what is he, a Republican now? Is that what wasn't he a Democrat? I'm sorry, I'm so confused about the whole thing. So I guess he used to be a Democrat, or maybe he was always a Republican. Can you see if
I'm trying to
Cuomo used to be a Democrat when he ran for governor? Because I feel like he was a Democrat. I believe that his brother's a big Democrat.
He worked for Clinton.
Jamie, you're doing a great job.
He worked for Clinton in the Department of Housing in the HUD.
Well, I mean, Clinton. Look, he's a lifetime politician. His father was a politician. Like, think about how little he actually has done as a human being. And think about the fact that he was put in a position of government where the actions that were taken would have been taken anyway. Like, what did he redo an airport that should have been redone 40 years ago? I mean, come on, guys, please. I can't fathom how dumb we as a society have come to, that I assure you, Mikie Sherrill will win the election. But unfortunately,
he first ran for a Democratic nomination for New York governor in 2002.
He's a Democrat and a Republican. Nobody even gives a shit. The point of what I'm trying to tell you is you're electing actors. You're electing actors, and the qualifications that are required. Well, government is a machine, okay? Please understand, it is nothing more than a machine. It is a machine that is run by a bureaucratic system that is virtually impossible to fix. You have to wipe it clean and redo it. That is not that complicated. That part is actually very easy. The first part of fixing this broken machine is virtually impossible because the machine itself will fight back. So, for example, I already accomplished my job. My job was one and only when it came to the county of Essex and the state of New Jersey, and that is to prove corruption. I already put Menendez in prison. I already proved the hierarchy of where the power where the power pyramid really.
What are you saying?
What I'm saying is that there are bad actors, there are human beings in the government right now that are collecting money on behalf of taxpayers, but are actually a part of a very crooked operation of internal dealings, as well as a series of absolutely horrible and corrupt acts. So, for example, one of the reasons why I was extremely confused about the way the gentleman in blue was acting when I was speaking to him is because this is supposed to be a civilized human being. This is a law firm. That is a lawyer. That is a licensed attorney. We are not at the Jersey Shore. It's 11 o'clock in the morning. It is. There was nothing that I did to even remotely incite that type of response. We shook hands like normal human beings. He had this ridiculous tennis elbow brace on. And like anyone who's I don't know, maybe he is hurt or not hurt, but to think about going into a physical altercation when you have that type of brace on, like first off, the guy
I don't know why I had to get
and he's like
physical at
jacked.
all.
He's in good shape. He's like ready to go, you know.
He's ready to go.
I don't know if he's on steroids. I don't know what how in love he is with his client that he would not only do the crimes that he did, but just the vision of me. He was ready to fight me.
What?
This is a human being that represents my wife in a real estate transaction, supposedly. And yeah, they did something absolutely horrible. And, they got caught in it. They got caught in the middle of the act. They tried to do it again. It's endless. And I just keep saying to myself, wow, $89.99 on the kitten booty on July 22nd. And that's all I know. I'm not like a stalker. I'm not a spy. I don't know what's going on. But nobody ever looks at a man's shoes. So at court, those shoes and subsequently, unfortunately, the other horrible things that were done on those shoes as well as everything else, I have to know all of this because I can't just allow my children to be exposed to violence, predatory actions, grooming, and all these horrible things without having the law on my side and utilizing what I know during law enforcement investigations as well as some very serious things. Ladies and gentlemen, always remember one very important phrase for the rest of your life. Any pawn can take the queen, but the game is not over until the king is down. And I am about to take the queen. And once this is a metaphor of chess, once you realize who and what you have supported by ignoring me, by treating me like a villain, by ignoring how much pain my children are in, by being illegally removed from their biological father, everyone who has taken part in knowing me for more than half a decade in a community, as well as me living here for over 35 years. 35 years, maybe 34. I moved here in 1991. 34. Look, this is real. This channel is extremely powerful. Unless you have the ability to stomach that the U.S. government is engaging in the support of kidnapping, attempted murder, and over 85 indictable offenses, all because I exposed the corruption that is at the heart of our government. It's not just corruption. It's incompetence. It is negligence. It is absolutely one of the most disgusting environments where humans are forced into paying taxes endlessly. And the only time that law enforcement truly interacts with them is if they're either a victim of a very violent crime, at which point it's a little too late because they've already been the victim, or if they are either accused or perpetrating some sort of a crime. White-collar crime is completely ignored unless you're involved in the community, in the legal community, on a very high civil level. Or that crime is going into the papers as a form of marketing for your department. Please remember that budgets are carved out of taxpayer dollars. So prosecutors' offices must present themselves to be worthy and legitimate operations. So there is a very large number of cases that are completely ignored, all in favor of making sure that the prosecutor's office controls who, what, and when
Right.
gets charged with the criminal activity in order to create a narrative that is supporting their justification and their existence, not the other way around, where their existence is of the reason because they are needed in the community and they are funded by taxpayer dollars because that need is there. They themselves create the need on an arbitrary level. And once they've been exposed and I've identified them, they have utilized a domestic violence case, my domestic violence case. I cited the domestic violence. I'm the victim, to change the circumstances around because the person that I'm going against is willing to lie in official court documents. Those official court documents are then utilized illegally to violate the slew of ADA rights, Whistleblower Act, as well as constitutional violations. Those three, let alone one of those, supersedes all court orders involved. Not to mention the fact the judge herself has stated that it is apparently now a public trial, which means that unless the judge has a court order for each and every person that metaphorically or metaphysically or hypothetically could have been in this stands while this was going on, what I am doing is nothing more than what any other person can do, which is, hey, I went to this trial and you won't believe that the judge actually watched as a man is physically assaulted and then rewards the woman with the house, the children, and all the parental rights.
Yeah.
This is a true story, which means that there's no way for you to block what I have to say legally anymore because the judge has completely contradicted her own court orders. Her own court orders. Please understand how difficult my life has been as a direct result of the actions of these judges. If a judge is not competent enough to understand that what she has done is destroyed her own court orders, what validity does she have to be the person who judges which parent, when, how, where the threshold for domestic violence is, if she is able to watch my child physically hear and be a part of his father being assaulted and then continue as if nothing happened? Then we allowed the other side to cross-examine or show any evidence whatsoever to refute anything I said. They had nothing but text messages and one video that actually fully supports my entire statement. All the evidence that has been presented so far fully supports. The judge is doing everything she can to drag this trial on as long as possible in order to have some sort of a criminal conviction in the background to justify what she has done. That'll never happen. She doesn't even hold a full day trial. She starts at 1:30 and ends at 4. And this is all with 1 month in between each court date. So I have to sit here and not be able to do anything. This is human torture. It is absolutely illegal. Any human being who is subjugated to this or is subject to this or any word that you want to throw into it, if you are used, abused, manipulated, and discarded all because you don't have a lawyer that is willing to lie to the court, you need to be able to stand up because eventually the truth will come out. There's only so much time that can pass without the truth coming out. This is the truth. Today, November 4th, wake up. I am calmly explaining to everyone that I will even express to you why I spent the last time 8 days in jail. Because either my wife, or the Livingston Police Department completely lied, and that video is not being shown to me.
Yeah.
She walked into the police station and said that she has a final restraining order and that the family matrimonial order is part of domestic violence.
Right.
Those two lies completely, combined with the fact the Livingston Police Department illegally labeled me as mentally ill and being a stalker in the pre-sentencing report that went to the prosecutor's office, allowed them to arrest me and keep me in jail for 8 days. During the detention hearing on the 8th day, the prosecutor, June Yoon, lied through her teeth to the judge, stating that I am a violent person and that my history of arrests that were all illegal.
Well, they pick and chose from certain papers what to read from, and not in context or in order. They took little bits and pieces, and it was so damning because if you take any bits and pieces of somebody's different reports, you can make it sound any way you want.
The video that I just posted is from last summer. The reason why I'm so confused is that I heard in court that the judge and the opposing lawyer described my activity as being erratic and insane. On July 19th, my wife and I visited our children. She was sitting crying in the parking lot. I came up to her window very slowly. She rolled it down. I said, "Are you okay?" She said, "No." I took her out to dinner. We had a lovely dinner. We parted ways normally. And then she had me arrested again on our 15-year wedding anniversary because we already had a nesting agreement in place where she would get 50% of the time in the house, I would get 50% of the time in the house. This is a true story of what I'm saying. On the 30th, we had an oral agreement in court which is fully legally binding and irrefutable. On the 31st, I drove by the home alone to look to make sure that the pump was working. I understood I couldn't step on the property, so I didn't. It was at around 1:30, 2 o'clock. The garbage is never this late. I took the garbage to throw it out. I was arrested. I spent 8 days in jail for this. In the filings that Mallory put for the ex parte, she wrote that Jamie and I together drove and stole the garbage. When she knows, and she submitted paperwork in the Livingston Police Department which says that here's a video of Dan going alone and taking the garbage. The garbage was never even asked for it to be returned. What kind of, not only that, it's not illegal. I spent 8 days in jail after I walked up and made sure that she was okay for crying. Do you guys even understand what is going on here? Is anyone at all cognizant of the brutal mental torture that I am a victim of? Is anyone at all comprehending that nothing that I'm being accused of is true? And there's no way for me to refute it other than showing you the videos that I am supposedly not allowed to show, which means that I am guilty because I'm not able to show the videos that show, look, during the time while I'm being accused of being insane, here's the way I was acting. I don't understand how, A, I'm able to walk into a drug clinic like LabCorp, take a drug test, which I did yesterday. I will submit it. And I don't understand how a human being who I've been with for 25 years can accuse me of being a drug addict and not for a second offer any form of help if she felt this. How is, and not only that, I didn't go to any AAs, I wasn't on drugs, so it's not that difficult. So like, the entire concept is so mind-blowing. And furthermore, she knows about my mental health issues that are nonviolent, and I see a therapist for primarily it's ADHD. It is an extreme form of ADHD. It is very easy to trigger me. It causes a lot of issues and a lot of anxiety in me. I am nothing more than a human being, but Mallory knows this about me. Yeah. So when she lied in court, it is a complete violation of the Americans Living with Disabilities Act. The court is in complete violation. The court is in violation of the Whistleblower Act, very serious federal act. The court is in complete violation of the U.S. Constitution.
Yeah.
Please understand that I am doing the best I can to make a humorous light of some of the most heinous and disgusting violations that can be done to a living human being in a non